Wallace.
And I have Don Holly here with me.
3 phases, dressage, cross-country, show jump. And you're out on course and something's going wrong or going right. You know how to react to what they're doing.
It was built originally to be a schooling facility, and so everything's set up very conveniently.
Welcome to the Jon and Rick Show, brought to you by Horse Trailer Pros, and we are here in the studio today, and unfortunately, Rick is not here, but we're all very lucky that Sinead Maynard has agreed to join us, or adjoined us.
Adjoined us. I'm Rick today. This is Rick.
Yes.
So, hi, Rick. We miss you.
Yeah, so unfortunately, Rick had a bit of a tumble.
Yeah, I think it was more of like a smack.
Yeah.
I don't know how much tumbling happened.
Yeah, it was a pretty good whack.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he broke his hip.
Yeah.
Which I made sure to tell him that I would tell everybody he actually slipped in the shower.
Yeah, I think he had one of those help I can't get up type. Yeah.
Life alert.
Yeah. Oh, you know the name of it.
I do. Well, I'm getting there.
Alert, my life needs help. Well, if you were going to do that injury, I think Florida is the place to do it.
Yeah, you know what's funny? He was like a little bit worried about having it done down in South Florida, and I was like, what are you talking about? All they do are hips down here.
Yeah, it's pretty much a specialty.
Yeah. Yeah.
What I loved about it was so Rick, is that he actually ended up, after he fell, he ended up commentating, also in the VIP.
Yep.
And then went to the hospital.
Yep, that's Rick. And as he was getting driven around, Sarah Broussard, who we know very well, was like, I'm trying to get him to go.
Give him more champagne.
I'm trying to get him to go to the hospital. I'm really trying. But I did talk to him this morning. He's back home. He's feeling great. He's on the mend. He wants to be here tonight.
Yeah.
But I told him that I'd already promised you. We didn't want to make you cry.
I'd have to kick him in the other hip.
Yeah, exactly.
I'd be like, this is my show.
Exactly.
I was waiting for my opportunity.
We actually should have taped your name over at the Jon and
my face.
Jon and
somewhere
Sinead.
Here.
Yeah, we need a photo of you up there. Oh,
all right, let's start over.
So before we get into Terra Nova, I thought we should just talk a little bit about Maryland.
Yeah.
So we had the big 5-star up there.
Yep.
Obviously, the big news is Boyd Martin won it.
He did.
And I think he was the first one since Connaught and Phillip won it in
2008? Was that 2008?
I think that's right.
Yeah, which is actually insane. But amazing, because we had some wonderful competitors from overseas come over. And I mean, I don't know how you felt, but I was like, oh, here, like Tim and Janelle came over, Ollie came over. Who else came over? We had a couple of Frenchies come over. Zara came over.
Astier Nicholas.
Yeah. So, I mean, it wasn't like, it was a weak field. It was a really strong field. So that was really, really exciting. And to the bitter end, I mean, I know, watching that show jumping, I mean, and it wasn't like Boyd show jumping left you thinking, oh yeah, this is going to be fine.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean,
she was touching every rail.
Yeah, absolutely. But you know what? They stayed up.
They did.
And we get to talk to Boyd about that in a little bit. But I think, it's so often you go out there and you have a beautiful round and you whisper over a rail and it falls. I think he was due.
Totally.
We were due.
We were due.
Yeah.
No, I completely agree. And you often, I mean, I've felt this a few times watching at Kentucky, which I'm sure you have. You watch whoever's in first or second come in and they just go over the first fence and are 6 feet over it and you go, well, this is done.
Right.
And it was pretty exciting till the bitter end. And from everything that I've heard, that arena had a really big atmosphere and big feel, and watching it felt like a real proper 5-star. So I think it's a real asset to our country right now.
Yeah,
I think a lot of people were like, I don't know, the prep felt a little bit different than Kentucky, because I feel like in January you're thinking about Kentucky and Fairhill kind of snuck up on everyone, or Maryland.
Right.
But I think walking away from it, I mean, we've got a proper event here.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, and you're right. You look at that arena and it was like the vendors were right there, right behind the judges' box on dressage day. The stands, they're not the huge grandstand of Kentucky. It actually, to me, watching it on TV, had a little bit more of almost a European feel to it, where everybody's in there really close. Which is tough for the horses. I think sometimes at Kentucky, because it's such a big grandstand, they're so removed, the horses almost don't notice them.
I totally agree. It was a little bit the same at Terra Nova, don't you think?
Yes.
Like that everything was kind of right there. You could tell when somebody was sneezing or coughing in the audience.
So we'll get to Terra Nova one sec, because that was a great little segue there. But we had, so Boyd.
See, I'm a professional.
Yeah, you're really good. You're really good. Rick, watch out, buddy. So we've got Boyd won it, Ollie was second, Tim Price was third, and then Jenny.
Yeah.
How cool was that?
Oh my God. I mean, I texted her on, I think it was Saturday night, and just, congratulated her. Said it looks so awesome. And her response wasn't even thank you. She was like, finally.
Exactly.
Yeah. She's just been on fire. And honestly, it's a long time coming. She's produced those horses. I mean, Stella, she's had since she was 4, I think. So she's had her since she was a baby, and has just had some random, really bad luck, honestly. Yep. So that was amazing. Really good.
Yeah, absolutely. So good job for Jenny, and then Will Coleman, still riding great, was 5th, and then Lauren 6th.
Yeah.
So it was
and
a good showing.
I kind of feel like, Lauren had 2 in the top 20, right?
Yeah, she was 6th on Monte Carlo, and she was 12th on Vermiculus.
Yeah, so I think kind of the same thing. It was kind of those girls had some really good finishes there, and I think it's so wonderful for one of Mrs. Mars's homebreds to finish so high up there as well.
Absolutely. It was a great weekend. It was fun to watch it. I was sorry I wasn't there. Rick actually was up there, so he had the inside scoop on a bunch of stuff. But it was so fun to watch it on TV.
Yeah.
And it's a little bit like sometimes, you go to so I love football, right? And you go in person and you watch a football game, and that's one experience. And then you watch it on TV and it's another. And it's kind of that way with Maryland, I'm sure, and I know it is when you go to Kentucky, where you're there in person and it's amazing. But sometimes you watch it on TV and you're like, wow, this is even more impressive.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, you can see a little bit more, and you can honestly analyze a little bit more. It's a different vibe to the whole thing. I mean, I know even competing at Kentucky, I rarely go out into the field. I sit in the riders' tent and watch the TV.
Right. Which is funny. The few times I've gone to an NFL game, I sit in the stands and I watch the Jumbotron. So yeah, and you're like, why am I paying money for this? So on to Terra Nova. Obviously, we were both there. It was a really good competition. Before we get into our thoughts on the competition, I just would say, obviously, the 4-star finished up. Leslie won it. Sarah Murphy, who put in so much effort into that event, she was 2nd, had a beautiful show jump round. And then Leslie again finished 3rd. And then there's this guy, we don't really know who he is. Apparently he comes from out west. He must have just gotten into the circuit. Named Marc Grandia.
Yeah, I don't even think he spells his name like how East Coast Mark.
No, it's West Coast spell.
Yeah, it's West
Coast.
Like
I think it's because he's Italian or something. So Marc Grandia on Team Rebecca's Campari FFF was 4th. And then you had Elisa Wallace on Let It Be Lee, which is a horse she got from Kyle Carter, was 5th. And
that was also original. Was that horse originally on the West Coast?
Yes, it was actually John Elliott and Susie Elliott's horse.
Bam.
And then we had Jenny Jarnstrom in 6th, who had such a good weekend, and then was just a bit heartbreaking in the show jumping. I felt terrible for her.
I know. The first half was so good. I agree. Me too.
It was too bad. But the event itself, I thought they did a really good job. The layout, everything for the spectators and people coming in, I think is going to be great.
Yeah.
And they obviously at that venue want to do everything they can to make it a world-class event. It's going to have the 4 long in 2 years' time, and I think it's on the right track. I will say, I don't know what you thought. I thought the footing on cross-country needed some work. They put in all the effort. They kept watering it. But we've all talked to them about it, and they're going to have the aerator is already on order, and they're going to get that footing right.
Now, are they going to, because I heard they bought 1,300 more acres. Are they going to expand that cross country at all?
Yes.
Or is that they are?
So when you rode the cross country and that last loop for the advanced was sort of twisted in there, that was actually supposed to be warm up, and there's a whole other field for the rest of it.
Yeah, I called that the boomerang field.
Yeah.
I mean, I was like, if you guys have to turn around one more time.
Yeah.
Because it kind of felt like, again, I loved the event. I mean, it was a complete win for me, especially for an inaugural event.
Absolutely.
Running at that level.
Yep.
I mean, they had
a lot of
starter through 4-star, which was insane. But I thought, yeah, exactly. The cross country, it kind of felt like it was you kind of got going, and then there was such an intense bit in the middle. And for the lower levels, it felt fine, like it was a bit hard to make time, but for the upper levels, it kept turning you around a bit. So that's what I was hoping, that it would just branch out and open up a little bit.
Yeah, that's absolutely in the works.
Yeah.
So they're going to have it expanded more. The footing is getting handled.
Yeah.
So I think it's
because all it would need is an aerator, because the whole thing's irrigated.
Right.
I mean, it's like
Right.
they couldn't, they had plenty of access.
you got to
to
run
water.
horses on it to know. And
Yep.
so now they know.
Yep.
So anyway, that was a super exciting weekend.
Yeah.
You guys had a good weekend.
Yeah.
Tick won, and he was first and second?
It was first and second.
Yeah, he beat me, which I was sort of annoyed about, to be honest.
If you had just told him, he probably would have given you his
Well,
first
that's
place.
why we had you come in and not Tick, to be honest.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, listen, we're going to take a break.
Yep.
And we're actually going to come back, and we've got Rick in for a couple segments because we caught up with Boyd Martin.
Oh,
So you get
I've heard
to
of the
relax
guy.
here for a little while.
Oh, thank God.
While we
It's
get
been
to
very stressful.
I know. I'm sorry. While we
The
get to hang
lights.
out with Rick and Boyd, and check in and see how Maryland went for Boyd and get his thoughts on all of that. So we're going to be right back with that with our Stress Less segment. So hang out, guys. We'll be right back. Want to advertise on the Jon and Rick Show? Contact Jon at 352-875-8622.
Or call Rick at 850-879-2649.
For a horse owner on the road, your trailer is essential. No one enjoys being stuck on the road. At Horse Trailer Pros, we repair, renovate, and maintain all makes and models of horse trailers. We work directly with your insurance company or manufacturer for warranty repairs and insurance claims. Our state-of-the-art facility provides quick turnaround and friendly customer service. Considering a living quarter conversion? We do those too. Find comfort on the road with Horse Trailer Pros. Call or text 352-804-2131. HorseTrailerPros.com.
Say hello to science supplements and quality without compromise. When you compare our supplements to the rest, we're the most cost-effective products you can buy. But don't just take our word for it. There's published research in veterinary journals, a full money-back guarantee, and we're fully independently certified. You won't find more research-based, award-winning products anywhere else. Do the best for your horse and your wallet. Real science, real research, real results. ScienceSupplements.com. You know who really loves horses? Chiros. That's short for chiropractor. My friends Dr. Philip and Dr. Angela from Synchrony Chiropractic taught me that. And right now you can visit KairosLoveHorses.com. That's KairosLoveHorses.com, and mention the Jon and Rick Show when you book for a special treat from these special docs. I now know horses need a chiropractor too, and the team over at KairosLoveHorses.com, that's KairosLoveHorses.com, have got their back. Again, check out KairosLoveHorses.com, that's KairosLoveHorses.com.
Sweet Dixie South is an equestrian facility built for the lifestyle of eventers of all levels. Whether you are coming to Ocala for the entire season, a week, a month, or a year, this beautiful 160-acre farm is the place to settle in and enjoy your time with horses. They offer a full cross-country course with 2 water features, banks, ditches, an amazing footing to gallop, a spectacular all-weather footing ring, large grass jumping fields, and dressage rings. Located in the rolling hills of North Marion County in Reddick, Florida, Sweet Dixie South has 100 stalls and numerous paddocks, apartments, a line of camper hookups, washer and dryer amenities, as well as common areas to complete your experience during your stay. Under the ownership of Mike Campbell and the management of Can-Do Joe Adams of Top Rail Tack, Sweet Dixie South has transformed into a premier eventing training facility in Florida. Go to www.sweetdixiesouth.com for more information. Hey, Rick here. Do you have a horse suffering from poor performance, anxiety and fear, low appetite, agitation, or nervousness? Stress Less can help. Stress Less, the hot horse remedy, is veterinarian-developed, show-safe, all-natural formula that promotes calmness, focus, and mood balance in horses experiencing stress related to training, showing, racing, stall rest, and travel. This equine supplement encourages calmness, focus, and mood balance without affecting the motor skills or energy levels of your horse. It promotes a more willing and balanced temperament with no drowsiness or impaired function, resulting in increased focus, a calm mind, and a happier horse and rider. Try Stress Less today and see for yourself why we think Stress Less is the best hot horse remedy you will find. Check us out at centerlinedistribution.net and on Facebook and Instagram as Stress Less Horse Supplement.
Welcome back to the Jon and Rick Show. We are brought to you by Horse Trailer Pros as always, and we are here in our Stress Less segment, and we are lucky enough to be joined by Maryland 5-star winner, Boyd Martin. Boyd, thank you for joining us and taking some time away from setting your jumps out there.
Yeah, thanks, fellas. It's good to be on the show again.
Yeah, well, we're thrilled to have you.
It seems to be an ongoing thing.
Well, it's probably a good thing unless it's some sort of scandal that I've been involved with. So.
Well, I mean, do you have any announcements to make? You can, if there's a scandal.
No, mate. I'm trying to keep all that stuff quiet from you two.
So listen, we're really proud of you, obviously. First American to win a 5-star since, what was it, 2008? Is that right?
I think so, yeah. I was there for that one. That was Philip on Connaught, and I just moved from Australia to America, and I was working for Philip as an assistant rider. So, yeah, I was there for that one when Big Phil won, and it seemed like it just took forever and ever and ever and ever for it to happen again for the Stars and Stripes.
Lucky 13 years.
Yeah. Well, I come up short a couple of times. Like, let's see, Otis came third at Kentucky, Shamari came third at Lemoulin, and Sesterley came second at Kentucky. And then I was leading going into the show jumping at Lemoulin on Shamari, and he got hurt and didn't pass the trot up. So I've been chasing it, and I was starting to think it was never going to happen. And honestly, guys, going into the show jumping on cue doesn't have the best show jumping record, and Oliver Townend and Tim Price do, and I was quite content just getting third place, and so I was quite surprised that I got away with the victory.
Well, it was a brilliant round. I think you must be living right, because she did touch a few of them and they stayed up, and it's one of those things that sometimes I know you've had rounds, I've seen you have rounds where you jump it beautifully and you get an unlucky rail. And it seemed like you had a couple very lucky touches that stayed up. And you know what? You stay at it long enough, you ride enough horses and put yourself in that spot enough times. You were due, man. So good job. So now what we have to do is make sure that it doesn't take us another 13 years to have that happen again.
Yeah, definitely got lucky in that show jumping, and I was riding the round and she was touching him and bumping him, and I'm sort of going around the round, and I thought I might have had a rail, but I never really heard the big clunk. And then when I finished the round and the crowd cheered, I thought, well, it's clear. And then I was 0.1 of a second inside the time. And if you think that I won the competition by 0.1, that's one mark in the dressage, or if I took one more stride in the show jumping, she would have been 1 second over and I would have lost by 0.3. And, it goes to show how tight it is, or how competitive it is when right at the top there. And, a bit like what you said, John, I've been slogging away doing this for years and years and years, and the stars aligned for me on Sunday, and I was very, very grateful to get away with it.
Hey, Boyd, I know that you have really great owners, and let me tell you, I followed them in the grandstands where they were staying all week. I saw on cue hats, and Christine Turner and her daughter were there, and let me tell you, they're super proud of you. And how do you feel like having great owners like them and having it there for them and winning it?
Yeah, I mean, they're just great people. They've they've had a great run with some top horses. They also own Sesterleg, and then on cue now is going to go down as one of the top American horses of all time. And I don't know, they're great people. They're very supportive, and as you guys know, with horses, there's ups and downs and highs and lows, and horses not performing, some get injured, and and they're just they're good people. I never Obviously you always feel like you want to do your best for them, and they're there when things don't go well, and they're very, loyal, and they've backed me all the way, and it's fantastic to get the win for them, just because they've not only own event horses with me, but dressage horses with Silver, and they're great owners, and Christine's just a top lady. She's a little bit crazy like me, and we get on great. So it's a great partnership.
Yeah, no, it is pretty cool to have that team, and the fact that she's got multiple horses with you is a testament to the relationship that you guys obviously have. So what do you have left this year? Are you done for the season, or do you have horses heading to some more competitions?
No, I'm back at it this weekend. I've got 6 horses in the novice and beginner novice at Warradaka on Sunday, and a couple in the prelim on Saturday, and then a bunch at Virginia horse trials, and then I'll take a few to try on at the end of the year. So I still got 3 big events to go to, and try and get the younger horses out and about, and doing a bunch of teaching and clinics in November and December, and try and get away with the kids in Silver for a couple of days in December sometime.
Perfect. And be careful this weekend, because I remember the first time when I was like, I think 20, I jumped around Kentucky, now 4-star, and I thought I was the king, and went back to Wisconsin and jumped one at a beginner novice and fell off. And I'm skipped across the ground. Those beginner novice horses can do a trick.
Yeah, none of that.
None of that. Hey, Boyd, when you got to Maryland, obviously I was there as well, and the facility was amazing. I know they had a couple jiggles here and there, but what did you think overall about the facility and how they pulled everything off there?
Well, Rick, I'm sure you feel the same way. It felt like a 5-star. Like they'd done a great job, with the stadium, with the dressage and show jumping, and the VIP tents, and it was world class. It was, it really had that championship feel. And then the venue itself at the racetrack, I thought that was brilliant. The cross country course, it had hills and downhills, and it was seriously big and long and grueling. So, it's definitely a 5-star, and it felt like a 5-star. Like there's been a couple of times where I've, ridden at Lemoulin or Poe or Adelaide, and it didn't have that sort of Kentucky or Badminton feel. Well, I think Maryland 5-star had that 5-star feel, and I think it will become one of the premier events in the world. Like you said, there was a couple little things here and there, but they got most of it right. In the sense of the actual competition was brilliant. It was a world-class field, great course design, beautiful stables, great rings. The spectators were looked after, good trade fair. So I think it's just going to grow to be bigger and better in years to come.
And so, with all that said, obviously Ian did his first 5-star there, and there was a lot of talk about that course itself, and leading into it, some questions as to how was everything going to ride. What, like, of the actual course and in Ian's design, what were your thoughts going into the cross country?
I thought it walked harder than it rode. I was on obviously a very good cross country horse, a very good galloper, and I walked it thinking, holy crap, this is going to be devastation. They're going to be just scraping people off the ground here, and the horses aren't going to finish. And I give Ian credit, like it was bloody big and fierce, and like a tremendous coffin, and that water jump up the top was horrendous, and that big corner over the ditch, I worried that he went too hard. But the class horses just did it well, and I think he made the time a little bit soft. I think it was he erred on the side of caution in the sense of like the last third of the course. I talked to him about it. He wasn't sure how exhausted the horses were going to be, so he made the last section of the course just a little bit smaller, erring on the side of safety, and making sure that there weren't too many sort of ugly scenes of horses falling down or whatnot. And so I do think he did the right thing, and played it a little bit safe, and I'm guessing, next year there'll probably be one bigger combination right at the end, and I'd say the last section of the course would be bigger in size. And don't forget, we had tremendous conditions. Like the ground was fast. There wasn't rain or mud or anything like that. So, had it rained and the ground got heavy, it would have changed the competition tremendously. But I don't know, it was a good test. Philip had an ugly fall right at the end of the day, but other than that, there wasn't too many sort of ugly scenes there. So I think he got it a bit right. He got it right, and I'd say next year he'll tighten the time up and make it just a little tougher towards the end of the track.
Cool. Listen, we need to take a break. Boyd, can you stick around, or do you have to go move jumps?
No, I can stick around.
All right, cool. So we're going to take a quick break. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out. We're going to check in with our sponsors. Thank you again to Stress Less for sponsoring this segment. We will be right back.
Hi, I'm John Halling, and this is my wife Jen, and we run Halling Eventing out of Willow Run Farm here in Ocala, Florida. We love our Jump for Joy jumps.
We are standing in front of one of my favorites, which is our Jump for Joy angled brush, which we have up on our bank complex so we can prepare the horses for the 3 days that are coming up. And it is very mobile, and we can put it anywhere we need to give the horses the questions that they need to see before we go and compete.
So we love them for cross country. We also have them in our show jump ring. They're great. You never have to paint them. Maintenance is super easy. And like Jen was saying, the shoulder brush here and any of the portable cross-country jumps that Jump for Joy makes are great. They're easy to move around, change the courses. We love them.
You can put them in the water jump. You can put them anywhere you want.
So if you're looking for some new show jumps, some new cross-country jumps, check out Jump for Joy.
Hey, Rick here. Do you have a horse suffering from poor performance, anxiety and fear, low appetite, agitation, or nervousness? Stress Less can help. Stress Less, the hot horse remedy, is veterinarian-developed, show-safe, all-natural formula that promotes calmness, focus, and mood balance in horses experiencing stress related to training, showing, racing, stall rest, and travel. This equine supplement encourages calmness, focus, and mood balance without affecting the motor skills or energy levels of your horse. It promotes a more willing and balanced temperament with no drowsiness or impaired function, resulting in increased focus, a calm mind, and a happier horse and rider. Try Stress Less today and see for yourself why we think Stress Less is the best hot horse remedy you will find. Check us out at centerlinedistribution.net and on Facebook and Instagram as Stressless Horse Supplement.
Welcome to Terra Nova Equestrian Center, located in Mayaca City, Florida, just a short drive from some of the nation's top beaches.
As a competitor, one of the most important things we look for when planning our competition calendar is the quality of course design and footing for our beloved equine athletes.
We are so excited to host our inaugural event, the event at Terra Nova, this fall. This event was thoughtfully created by some of the most innovative and experienced minds in our sport.
The courses are run over gorgeous terrain, and we are proud to offer custom drainage and irrigation throughout all levels of competition. Terra Nova is certainly the gold standard, with 6 Wordley Martin GGT arenas and a Captain Mark Phillips designed and Eric Bull built cross-country course, complete with frangible technology.
We hope to create a special experience for all levels of riders.
Whether you're experiencing your first horse show or are a seasoned Olympic athlete, Terra Nova is excited to welcome you.
Summit Joint Performance, the injectable joint supplement used by numerous international and Olympic riders, invites you to experience the winning Summit difference. Made of all natural ingredients, Summit increases mobility and comfort. Win your class with Summit Joint Performance.
Grant Showalter has over 15 years of equine bodywork and saddle fitting experience. His technique uses manual pressure and stretching to release points of restriction, leading to freer movement, reduced soreness, and restored range of motion. He has a thorough understanding of the importance of a properly fitted saddle. You can quickly identify and correct any balance issues and can adjust your saddle on site. I personally have Grant work on all of my event horses to keep them feeling their best before, during, and after their competitions. Grant is based in Florida year-round, but regularly travels to Georgia, Tennessee, and the surrounding areas. For more information or to schedule an appointment, call 484-639-4454.
Welcome back to the Jon and Rick Show, brought to you by Horse Trailer Pros. We're here with the great Boyd Martin and his fresh win off of Maryland 5. Now, Boyd, I do remember talking to you and interviewing you at the American Eventing Championships, and it seems to me you were shocked a little bit because you got the win there. So how did it kind of relay in your thought process? Because you won, I mean, that was a big win as well, right? The American Eventing Championships, it wasn't a 5-star, but hey, you came up from behind and took the win. So how does that feel to do? Is it feel less pressure coming from that, from third up, or do you think there's more pressure going from first in?
I don't know. I've sort of been in both scenarios over and over again. And to be honest, when I'm competing, I'm not sort of too much focused on what position I'm in or how many points I'm away. It's sort of me against the course, or my horse against the track, and trying to get the best test out of my horse and in the dressage, and giving my horse a great ride cross country, and then leaving the show jumps up, and then seeing where the chips fall after that. And it's, I don't know, like it's a hard thing. Obviously, I sort of looked at the scores before the show jumping at Maryland and realized that I was within a rail of Tim and Oliver. But then I also, Oliver and Tim just continuously show jump clear over and over and over again. So, I was just trying to get the best round out of my horse. And honestly, once I knew I went clear, I thought, oh, okay, well, that's guaranteed me third place. And then I just rode out the back, and then I heard the crowd gasp, and then someone yelled out that I was in second. And then I was just hacking around, and then I heard some people screaming, and then Eric DeVander and my groom like sprinting over to me in the warm-up. And about then I realized that Oliver had an uncharacteristic rail, and I'd won the thing. So it was a surreal moment, as a rider. You dream of moments like that, and you don't know how quite don't quite know how to react sometimes. But it was I don't know. It was an event that I've been trying to win for years and years and years, and finally. I didn't think it would be on that event, on that horse, to be quite frank with you.
And Jon, before you ask some questions, the other big accolade that you have, because you won the Maryland 5 and you rode and completed the Maryland 5, is I believe you and only maybe a couple riders now with Maryland 5 have done, I think Tim Price, have done all 7 of the 5-stars globally.
Yeah, well, it helps when you're from Australia or New Zealand, because
That's what I said.
Yeah, the hard one to get to Adelaide, and that's where I got started. I've done Adelaide about 10 times. So, no, it's cool. I mean, it's amazing where horses take you in the world. I was a kid from a little town in outskirts of Sydney, and who would have thought joining the pony club up the road would eventually take you to Rio de Janeiro and Po in France and Germany and Holland and England. And sometimes I've got to pinch myself and realize that, it's pretty amazing, this passion for horses and competition, where it actually lands you in the world. And if you got love for something and you try really hard and you work really hard, the sky's the limit.
So with all of that said, Boyd, you said you've got some horses heading up to Tryon at the end of the year. I know you guys, I believe you just built a new riding ring, a new covered arena up there at your place up north in Pennsylvania. So what are your winter plans? Are you staying north longer now? Are you still going down to Aiken? I know, Aiken's been a big part of your winter season. So what's the plan right now?
I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to come back just a couple of weeks earlier. One of the bonuses of being up here in Pennsylvania is the galloping of the hills, and to get the horses really, really fit for Kentucky, there's just it's just so easy up here. Like you got a nice, 2.5 minute hill on perfect grass, and you sort of point the horse up it and it gets it fit. So I think I'll, stay in Aiken, train at Stableview, and probably if the conditions are good in Pennsylvania, I'll probably come home after the Bruce's Field Grand Prix eventing I think that's the beginning of March. So I'm going to just shorten it up by a couple of weeks.
Got it. And so then at this point, assuming everything goes according to plan, how many are you planning to have at Kentucky in the spring?
Oh, no idea. I mean, I'm still just enjoying the moment now. And, I got, what are the World Championships the next year. So, I know I've got a couple of top horses here. And I mean, to be quite honest with you, I love their 5 stars, and I'm sure it'll be tempting. I'm sure I love winning the 5 stars, and then obviously representing a country and going to WEGs and Olympics is awesome too. But my passion is these 5 stars, and then hopefully doing well at Kentucky on a horse or two then gets you on the American team to go to the WEG. So I know I haven't answered your question. We'll just see how all the ponies are looking in the winter, and make sure they're all in good health, and it'd be great to win Kentucky.
And what's the date? I know I should probably know this, and you may have the same answer I do, but what is the date of the WEG next year?
No idea, mate. Not a
Rick.
When was WEG? The WEG before? That was was it September?
It's funny you say this. So everyone, this is a side note, like everyone, when you're coming into the year of a championship and they're talking about the Olympics and their WEGs, and then they're talking about the training camp, and then they're talking about what flights and where, and if we're going to get a rental car, and like, I don't think of any of that. My main focus is I know that if I do really good at Kentucky, then all that gets taken care of. So I don't even think a day past Kentucky 3-day event, and I know if I perform well there and have a healthy horse, and then all the other things fall into place.
Well,
See,
I
John,
think that's actually
John. You couldn't live like that.
No, well, I think it's great advice. I actually could live like that. I have no idea with a lot of this stuff either, and I will say to that point, Boyd, I've had other riders come up to me and sort of say like, oh, how do you get in? Like, it's such a close knit thing, and it's, everybody has their favorites, and this guy is in, and Boyd and Phillip are like, they're always in everything. And, obviously you got to know how to play the game. And I'm like, well, it's really simple. You just go win. If you beat them, then you get to go places. And I think that's kind of the point.
Yeah, it's a hard dynamic, because I remember growing up in Australia having that feeling that it was like this club that only certain people were members of, and you just got to, that I truly believe that if you work hard, you train hard, you get good horses, and you go to the big shows and are competitive, then everything else takes care of itself. And if you start sort of, like there's all these people that whinge and whine about the management or the coaches or the selectors, and to be honest, I'm pretty simple, and I actually don't bother with or worry about any of that, which I know is easy to say because I'm more established now. But sometimes you can get focused on all the bullshit, and really, when it comes down to, John, is getting good horses, making sure they're good and healthy, and performing at the critical moments. Can't try and win every event, but the big ones, if you win them, and then you make the team.
Well, I think that's excellent advice for everybody out there who's wondering how to get in. Go win when it matters, right? That's the point.
when do the homework.
Absolutely. So listen, Boyd, we are actually out of time. I really appreciate you joining us. I know Rick and I really appreciate it. And you need to get back to moving jump so that you can be ready for the beginner, novice, and novice this weekend. So
All right,
get
guys.
on it.
Well, fantastic. Thanks for having me on, and appreciate talking to you.
All right. Thanks so much, Boyd. All
See
right,
you
guys.
guys.
We will be right back after these messages.
The holidays may seem far away, but they're really just around the corner. If you're looking for a heartwarming and custom gift to give this year, consider commissioning a piece by Tegan Henderson at Creature Feature Portraits. Choose between glasses or canvas to immortalize your beloved horses and pets. Creature Feature Portraits provides affordable and classy artwork for you and your home. Find Tegan on Instagram at creature_feature_portraits, and to inquire about commissions and pricing, text her at 774-278-1492.
For a horse owner on the road, your trailer is essential. No one enjoys being stuck on the road. At Horse Trailer Pros, we repair, renovate, and maintain all makes and models of horse trailers. We work directly with your insurance company or manufacturer for warranty repairs and insurance claims. Our state-of-the-art facility provides quick turnaround and friendly customer service. Considering a living quarter conversion? We do those too. Find comfort on the road with Horse Trailer Pros. Call or text 352-804-2131. HorseTrailerPros.com.
Deco Pony has specialized in making striking, durable, and affordable custom show and barn accessories for a decade. Our exclusive line of custom products has allowed us to create hundreds of beautiful aisles for riders across the globe. Let us make your dream barn aisle a reality with our custom stall guards, halter guards, wrap holders, and stall plaques. Deco Pony is the exclusive online retailer for QHP Tack in Holland, making it easy to complete your look. Follow Deco Pony on Instagram for all the latest.
Hey, Rick here. Do you have a horse suffering from poor performance, anxiety and fear, low appetite, agitation, or nervousness? Stress Less can help. Stress Less, the hot horse remedy, is veterinarian-developed, show-safe, all-natural formula that promotes calmness, focus, and mood balance in horses experiencing stress related to training, showing, racing, stall rest, and travel. This equine supplement encourages calmness, focus, and mood balance without affecting the motor skills or energy levels of your horse. It promotes a more willing and balanced temperament with no drowsiness or impaired function, resulting in increased focus, a calm mind, and a happier horse and rider. Try Stress Less today and see for yourself why we think Stress Less is the best hot horse remedy you will find. Check us out at centerlinedistribution.net and on Facebook and Instagram as Stress Less Horse Supplement.
Summit Joint Performance, the injectable joint supplement used by numerous international and Olympic riders, invites you to experience the winning Summit difference. Made of all natural ingredients, Summit increases mobility and comfort. Win your class with Summit Joint Performance.
Hi there, and welcome to the Sinead and Jon Show.
Wait, what?
Brought to you by Horse Trailer Pros. I'm here with my co-anchor.
Yeah, great.
We miss you, Rick. Come back.
Well, thank you for that, Sinead. You were excellent at bringing us in. Great
Thanks.
job.
It's my show.
Yeah, I know. It's the Sinead and Jon show now. I get it. I lost the rock, paper, scissors. Yeah. No, that's good. So we're back, guys, and I did actually get a chance, Sinead, to run over to Leslie Law's farm and catch up with him so he can run over sort of his weekend at Terra Nova. He absolutely dominated it.
Yeah.
So let's quick check in with Leslie, and then we'll be right back here to talk about
all the other things.
Leslie.
And Leslie.
Yeah. We are here with Leslie Law. I just caught up with him at his farm this morning. Les, thanks for taking the time.
Oh, no, it's a pleasure.
So we just all got back from down at Terra Nova, and you obviously had the best weekend of everybody, winning the 4-star on Fleur.
Yeah.
And you were
third on Typically Fernhill.
Yeah.
So we had Lady Chatterley in the lead and Typically Fernhill in third. So just tell us a little bit about your weekend, how things went. Obviously the horses were great.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't have asked for more. Both horses were doing their second 4-star short. They upgraded at Stableview a few weeks ago, and they ran very well around there. And really the idea again was to go to Terra Nova and have a good experience for them, and with the future in mind. And so everything really went better than we could have really hoped for. You know, they both did a good dressage, especially Typically Fernhill. I mean, he was lying second after the dressage. He was first to go in the arena, and he put in a 27 point something. Lady Chatterley was last to go and put in a 29 point something. So they were lying second and third after the dressage. So that was very good. I mean, the Lady Chatterley does do good dressage. Typically Fernhill's come on leaps and bounds, quite honestly.
Right, and then just run us through the cross country. What'd you think of, I guess maybe start with the horses themselves. I mean, how did they, obviously they were great, so just run us through that. I know you took on Typically Fernhill, I think you took the option at the end.
Yeah.
But how was the rest of the course on him?
Yeah, I mean, like we were saying, doing his second 4-star, he is a very bold horse, and he's very exciting to ride. He likes to challenge you and take you down to the fences, and it's quite thrilling, quite honestly. And he rode great, and yeah, there was a double of corners on a severe angle on 4 strides, and he went straight through there. And then, like you said, about 4 fences from home, there was an oxer to a very what I thought was a very difficult or a 4.5-star type line to an open corner, and the horse had just over 12 months in the intermediate, so I thought perhaps he lacked a little bit of experience for the level of difficulty there, and so I chose to just give him a little run round the option, having done the double of corners so well.
And so then on Lady Chatterley, you came back and you did go straight on her. So what was that choice? Well, what made you make that choice with her?
Well, she's spent a lot longer in intermediate, so she's had almost 2 years at the intermediate level, so she's had a lot more experience, quite honestly, at learning the job, running, holding technical lines. And she ran through the double of corners on 4 strides very well, and I just thought she had the experience to process it and pick it up and read it.
So was that a plan you had from the start, you were going to go straight, or did you make that decision up after the double corners?
No, I made that decision with her. When I set out on her, I had no set plan what I was going to do there at the end. Like what you're saying basically is I was going to see how she was going, and she felt very great, very good and straight at the double of corners. So I was like, okay, we got to go get this done, and she was phenomenal.
Yeah, she looked awesome.
Yeah.
And then we went into show jumping. I thought the ring was beautiful. The course, I thought was a nice track. Just briefly, just talk us through their rounds.
Yeah, I mean, it was the show jumping. I walked it and I thought, oh, this is a nice track. It looks pretty straightforward and stuff. And in all fairness to the course designer, I thought it rode more difficult than it walked, which is, I think, actually a testament to the course designer, quite honestly. I sort of walked around this. I was like, yeah, I feel very comfortable about this. And, I went in first on Typically Fernhill, and who is a great show jumper. And I was like, yeah, I better wake up a little bit, because I had to sort of get on my game a little bit more than I anticipated. I thought we were just going to go around in a nice rhythm and pop around, and you actually had to ride it.
Yeah, I thought he was very clever. Like, some lines were just a little short, some lines were just a little long, and it was enough for me anyway, just to affect how you needed to ride into those lines.
it was just enough to play with you.
Yeah.
And like I said, all testament to him. I thought that was fantastic. I thought it was really good. And then Lady Chatterley went in. She went in second to last to jump, and she's a different horse to jump. Typically Fernhill, like I said, he's a horse that loves to run down to the jumps and really jump up around the fences. She's a little bit spookier, so she holds on the jumps a little bit more. So I feel like I just have to be a little bit more tactful with her, and for sure she came through. There was an in and out, 7 strides down to a black and white oxer with like musical notes in the bottom, and she did take a hard look at that, but you know, I know her well enough now to hopefully react right in the moment, and she actually in the end jumped up around it well, and she also jumped a lovely clear round. So
well, it was great to watch, and I appreciate you letting me come over here and take up some time in between your horses. So they get a little vacation now?
Yeah, I was thinking of, I did think I was going to go to Tryon with them, but actually, you know, it's going to be, I know it's a different venue, but it's another Mark Phillips course. I don't think they could, you know, they answered all the questions this weekend. I don't quite see what I would achieve by going on to another event, so I think it'll be nice to get them out in the field, let them down for 6 weeks and get some grass into them before the cold weather comes along and burns it off, and then, you know, pick them back up and leg them back up, and I think I've got 2 very exciting horses for next year.
Yeah, I think you've got several in the barn.
I hope so.
Good on you. Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, so thanks again to Leslie for taking the time to let me stop in at the farm. I mean, it was a pretty impressive weekend for him.
Yeah. And I mean, I think that like the great thing, and obviously we have our own Ocala community down here, so we're very familiar with the horses and the riders in the area, but I mean, he's produced those horses. I mean, they've been, I mean, I remember Lady Chatterley when she was a 5-year-old, and Mrs. Leslie was riding her, and in the, you know, Canadian training sessions and whatnot. So he's really produced his string.
And she's not been an easy one to produce.
No, and that was actually interesting because I was talking to them this weekend, and you know, she had a couple of hiccups along the way, but they definitely found some physical things going on with her that they were able to address, and the behavior really switched. And you could see that this weekend. I mean, I watched her very closely this weekend, and there was no sign of any type of you know, conversation going on. She was just lovely. And that horse, I mean, she moves, she jumps, she's brave, she gallops, she's blood. You know, it's a really, really beautiful horse. And they've got great supporters. And I think it really is a testament to their program that they've just produced competitive horse after competitive horse, and to be able to bring those to that level and finish so well. I mean, and I think Leslie, Miss Leslie, I mean, she had a good weekend as well.
Yeah, they had a great weekend on all the horses. I don't think anybody wasn't placed well in the divisions.
Right.
And then the gelding that he has, the bay. Fernhill, the Fernhill horse. Sorry, Les.
There's only one.
Sorry, Les. I know him as Donnie, so there you go. I mean, that's a lovely horse. Class all around. It was.
But it's feisty. I mean, I've watched that horse a lot, and I mean, they get on really, really well. But it certainly wouldn't be like a timid person's ride.
Right.
Like,
well, I mean, you know, you watch Splash go around.
Yeah.
And that's not exactly like a hunter to go ride around.
Right.
But I think you need that, in my opinion. You need that a little bit. I mean, I remember your Tate horse was not exactly like easy peasy to go ride around. I mean, he had some fire to him, and so it takes that sort.
No, they need a little bit of heart at that level. And it was funny in that interview because listening to Leslie talk about him, he said he's quite exciting to ride, you know, and it just takes a certain character of both horse and rider to kind of look at it that way, which is fun.
Absolutely. So we've got Mark Grandia in, that guy from out west who apparently just got into the sport. So we're going to take a quick break.
Perfect.
And then we're going to have Mr. Mark Grandia come right back and join us. Higher Standards Leather Care brings joy to a chore that every rider, whether Western or English, competition or trail, has to do: clean and care for our tack. The saddle soap comes in 4 scents, all named after beloved horses: Ben's Rosemary Mint, Buzz's Citrus Ginger, Fox's Vanilla Lavender, and Woody's Confidence. For those who prefer a fragrance-free soap, Plain Bay is our unscented option. Our leather balm is a rich conditioner, and like the soap, is all handmade in small batches. Find us at hsleathercare.com to order direct or to find out if your favorite tack store is one of our retailers. Grant Showalter has over 15 years of equine bodywork and saddle fitting experience. His technique uses manual pressure and stretching to release points of restriction, leading to freer movement, reduced soreness, and restored range of motion. He He has a thorough understanding of the importance of a properly fitted saddle. You can quickly identify and correct any balance issues and can adjust your saddle on site. I personally have Grant work on all of my event horses to keep them feeling their best before, during, and after their competitions. Grant is based in Florida year-round, but regularly travels to Georgia, Tennessee, and the surrounding areas. For more information or to schedule an appointment, call 484-639-4454.
Hi, I'm Liz Halliday Sharp. I'm an international event rider based in Ocala, Florida and Lexington, Kentucky. We love our Jump for Joy jumps. We're able to take the fillers and portables with us back and forth between our two locations, which is really helpful. And we especially love the cross-country portable fences. We have lots of different ones so that we can bring them between Lexington and Ocala, and we've always got something exciting for the horses to learn and jump over. We love our fences, and we would recommend Jump for Joy to anybody.
When it comes time to compete, I demand the best out of my horses and myself. That's why Elemental Fit Lab, the home of CrossFit antics, is my home gym. Coach Vilma and her team create a fun, welcoming environment for athletes of all levels. Whether you're a beginner or a seasoned athlete, Elemental Fit Lab will guide you towards a stronger, healthier version of you. Mention the Jon and Rick Show to get 3 free personal training sessions with enrollment.
Sweet Dixie South is an equestrian facility built for the lifestyle of eventers of all levels. Whether you are coming to Ocala for the entire season, a week, a month, or a year, this beautiful 160-acre farm is the place to settle in and enjoy your time with horses. They offer a full cross-country course with 2 water features, banks, ditches, an amazing footing to gallop, a spectacular all-weather footing ring, large grass jumping fields, and dressage rings. Located in the rolling hills of North Marion County in Reddick, Florida, Sweet Dixie South has 100 stalls and numerous paddocks, apartments, a line of camper hookups, washer and dryer amenities, as well as common areas to complete your experience during your stay. Under the ownership of Mike Campbell and the management of Can-Do Joe Adams of Top Rail Tack, Sweet Dixie South has transformed into a premier eventing training facility in Florida. Go to www.sweetdixiesouth.com for more information.
Welcome back to the Sinead and Rick Show, brought to you by Horse Trailer Pros, and we are really fortunate that we are now joined by Mark Grandia. And Mark is a 4-star rider based in Duval, Washington. He and his wife Erin run Full Gallop eventing. He currently has his 4-star horse here in Ocala, that is Campari, getting ready for Tryon. And his 2-star horses are out finishing their season in California at Galway Downs in just a couple weeks' time. Mark is a large R course designer and designs courses in area 6 and 7.
Why couldn't he just say that without reading it?
I don't know.
How'd I do?
Yeah,
that was pretty good.
Was all right?
Yeah, that was pretty good.
All right, awesome.
I don't think you forgot anything.
Perfect,
It's
perfect.
all in there.
So, Mark, thanks for coming in. I appreciate it.
Of course, thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So, just, I guess my first question is, why are you here? Like, you came out east, right? You came out east and made this trip out here from the West Coast. What brought you out east?
Well, I came out, I want to go to Kentucky next year.
Yep.
So I came out to prepare for that, and I came out for Morven, and I fell off. So we extended the trip, and we're going to do Terra Nova as well as Tryon. And the whole idea is to get, out of my comfort zone and out here on some different tracks and see what it's like out, competing in the East.
Have you been out here before?
I have, but I came out several years ago with a couple of horses, did a 2-star at Virginia. I came out and worked for Jon. I think it was a few months before that, actually, but I didn't get to compete that time. But this is my first, actual serious trip with it.
Kind of tour with it. Got you. And what are your thoughts so far?
I mean, it's all the same sport. We're just on a different side of the country.
Yeah.
And it's different people, and it's, you guys set up a big tent over your stalls, and everyone, we set up a little tent over our stalls. But
that's the difference from east to west?
There
big
we go.
tent, little tent.
All right, I'm moving to the ocean.
But it's sort of all the same thing. It's actually better. The big tent's better because you have covered aisleways, right? At home, we get rained on. The aisleways are not covered.
Right. Okay. So big tent is the way to go.
Yeah.
So I want to talk about Terra Nova, and I want to talk about your plans for Tryon, but just real briefly, what happened up at Morven?
I came too big into a combination, open corner, open left point corner, and that's been something that's been a struggle for us in the past. And he just peaked a little bit and right into the frangible corner, knocked both rails down. I tumbled off, over through the flags. He went to the left and then ran around for a little bit.
Right, and so the reason I ask that, because you thought, oh man, really, you're going to make me answer this on the show? But the reason I ask it is because then you go to Terra Nova this weekend.
Yeah.
And there was a pretty big left point corner rail, and as I seem to recall, you smoked down to that thing and jumped it as good as anybody did all day.
Thank you. Yeah, it was a big question, and Leslie actually was all worked up about it, and Kyle maybe as well.
Yes.
Leslie and Kyle were definitely worked up about it, and I think about half of the division went around there.
Yeah.
But I sort of think that he was going great at that point, and there's no way around it. You got to do the things that are out there. Doesn't matter what they are. Who knows what Ian's going to set up at Maryland next year, what Derek's going to set up at Kentucky, and you've got to be able to jump them. So that's what we're here for, not to back down from a challenge.
Yeah. I was impressed because it would have been real easy after what happened at Morven Park to just say, well, I just need to get him confident, and you could have completely convinced yourself.
Yeah.
And, we've sort of been helping each other out a little bit since you've been out here, and so we walked it, and I was pretty sure you were going straight, but you didn't really say like, yep, I'm going straight, or nope, I'm going around. We kind of walked both lines, and you went down there and jumped it awesome.
Well, thank you.
So
I wasn't really sure until I made the turn.
Right. Well, I think that's right.
Really, the Oxer before. He was going really well at that point, so there was no reason to go around. He would have jumped anything.
Right.
Can you tell us a little bit about your horse? Because I stopped. I watched him. I was walking past the dressage ring. I think I had to leave. I was commentating. I had to leave, and I stopped and watched a little bit because I was very impressed with him. And then the same in the show jumping. Can you tell us a little bit about him?
So he is 11 years old now, a Holsteiner. He was bred in Washington, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So FFF, he's Campari FFF. That's Foxfire Farm.
Thank God, I was worried it was Triple F.
No.
Like Triple H from wrestling.
Yeah. Triple X. Then you would have to say it, but
but it's
FFF.
All right, I did it right.
Foxfire Farm.
Perfect.
They also, actually, I don't think they bred, but they have the same his closest famous relative doesn't play fair.
Okay.
Half brother, same stallion.
No kidding.
So
Bigger.
What do you mean bigger?
Your horse is bigger.
He's, a little bit.
Oh, really?
He's not big. He goes big. He looks big. He
big.
gallops big.
Yeah.
But if you stand next to him, he's not big. I mean, maybe John will.
I would back him up.
You've
on
had
that.
to ride him.
I mean, I trust you.
Yeah.
I've gotten to. I didn't have to ride him. I got to ride him.
Yeah, you got to ride him for me a bit. He's not that big. He's a little bit bigger. That was a very small horse. He's a little bit bigger than that horse, definitely. I've had him since he was 5. He's fantastic. Sarah and Jerome Broussard were kind enough to go in on him for me as a 5-year-old, as a prospect. And, we've just been sort of plugging away. We've had some success and we've had some failures, and he's, at this point, just really reliable.
Yeah. It's funny. It's like that kind of 11, 12 at the advanced level, you start to it all starts to level out a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
That's awesome.
So you actually head back home now for a little bit.
Tomorrow.
You're going to Galway Downs.
Right. Yep. So I fly home tomorrow evening, and then I'll have a few days at home. We'll drive to Galway. I've got horses and clients there competing. And then lucky enough to actually get to fly from Galway back here on the Saturday night, I think. It's like a midnight flight. And I'll be here for a few days and then go to Tryon.
So should you give a shout out to your wife? I'm
oh my
assuming
God.
She's doing
you
everything.
have no idea. She's
mean,
6.5 months pregnant. And she's running everything at home.
It's contagious.
I couldn't say it.
I
couldn't say enough good things. Thank you.
That's so exciting.
Thank you.
Do you know if you're having a boy or girl? Can we say that? We probably.
A boy.
Oh, yay.
They're naming him John.
We're considering it at this point. We'll see how the rest of this trip goes.
Yeah, we'll see how the rest of this interview goes. Oh my gosh, so she is probably in a real fine mood.
She is doing an exceptional job, honestly. So this was all ad lib. I was not supposed to be out here this long. I was supposed to come out for 3 weeks, go to Morven, come home. That was going to be hard enough. We had a clinic with Matt Brown scheduled for last weekend. Actually, Matt came out. So taught the clients and rode my horses, jumped them for me, which was nice because
that's a pretty good person to catch ride your horses.
Yeah, it was pretty nice, right?
Yeah.
It was pretty
nice.
nice.
To have good friends, I guess.
The poor
Aaron
couldn't storm too.
Aaron couldn't ride him for you. What's wrong?
I I mean, she can.
She didn't want to jump him?
Up 5 and wider.
I'm 6.5 months pregnant. I don't want to jump.
I don't want to jump, yeah.
Okay, you two.
Hey, listen,
Trust me,
when
that's
Jen
not
was
it.
6.5 months pregnant, I rode.
And I'm sure you complained the whole time.
I did. I was feeling bloated.
I feel like I remember you not letting Jen ride.
That's
I
true.
think you were the one that was putting a hard stop
That's
on
true.
that. I
Yeah.
know.
Interesting.
Yeah,
I know.
I was bad that way.
Anyway.
Yeah. So you head down to Galway with those horses,
Yes.
and then you get back out here. And then the really cool thing, Sinead, is I've actually convinced Mark, because as we read in his bio, he's also a course designer and knows how to build jumps.
Okay.
Knows how to build jumps. Not a builder.
Well, I didn't want to say that because when I said you were a builder earlier in the week, you were like, "Well, really, I'm a designer. I'm not a builder."
It's all in the wording.
Not exactly how that went, but yeah. close
Okay,
enough.
so let me restart. So Sinead, he also is a builder.
Okay.
So he's been
Designer.
building some stuff for me at my place. Just saying.
I like it.
Yeah.
Okay.
You wait.
Yep.
So you're putting in for a 4-long at your farm?
Yeah, there's gonna be a 4-long at my place.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Yep. We're building all the jumps out of scrap wood.
Yeah. It's basically whatever.
I like it.
By
Whatever-
scrap wood, we
whatever
mean
falls
whatever's
down.
fallen on the
Yeah,
farm.
No, I
Yeah,
get it.
yeah.
Hurricane season is coming to an end.
Right.
Got to do something.
So.
Good. So you're not bored out here, basically.
No.
You've been staying busy.
Yes, I'm trying to stay busy. It's yes. Staying busy. I'm not even sure what to say. I don't have anything to do. Right? I have one horse to ride. I've got a wonderful groom that came with me, so she's taking care of him, and she'll stay here when I go home. And so then I'm like, okay, twiddling my thumbs. Like,
And so
give me
then I
some
hand him a
lumber and some
hammer
screws,
and a
please.
screw gun and
like,
a pile of lumber.
you're
I'm like,
welcome.
go.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
You don't even have to pay me, Mark.
And I'll ride your horses when you're gone.
Exactly. So listen, Mark, thanks for joining us.
Of course.
I
thanks for
appreciate you
having me.
coming in. And I want to say, like, officially on the show, good luck at Tryon, but I'll get to say that to you in person too, because I'll be there. But good luck at Tryon. I know it's going to be awesome. And Sinead, thank you for coming in and filling in for Rick.
Yes, big shoes to fill.
And his hip.
I know, Rick and his hip.
And Rick, we're thinking of you, buddy.
We miss you.
Yeah, we do. We miss you.
I like feel for you now with what you've got to.
Well, that's a bit hateful.
I didn't finish my sentence.
I
You're just
know.
assuming.
Listen, thank you both very much. Really appreciate it. Thanks everybody for joining us for the show. We had a great time, and we'll be back in 2 weeks' time. So until then, keep riding. We'll have a great show next time. That was a terrible outro, huh? Man.
You're fired.
Rick Wallace.
And I have Don Holly here with me.
3 phases, dressage, cross-country, show jump. And you're out on course and something's going wrong or going right. You know how to react to what they're doing.
It was built originally to be a schooling facility, and so everything's set up very conveniently.